Good morning.
Good
Good
morning. Good morning.
morning.
Good morning. Let me tell you, we are back. Baby, we are in a whole new month. When y'all left us in February, listen, we see February. What they say, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. What goes on in
Thanks.
February, let it stay in February because we are here in March.
Isn't that the truth?
It's Pisces season, people.
Oh,
It's Pisces season.
it's Pisces season. Listen, you hear she threw that on out there,
Uh-huh.
Sparkle, because her birthday is coming up. Yeah,
Yeah, she
look.
needed y'all to
In
know.
11 days. 11 days.
At exactly 11 days.
Yeah.
Kelly, she
So,
said, woohoo, I set my alarm. So she is in the building virtually. So we are glad
hey.
to see you this morning. Thank you for being here. I know that today, good morning, Farika. Today
Good
is
morning.
baby. Three. Where is Miss Doris? That's where she need to be at because y'all know she is the queen of threes. Three is it's so funny because she'll send me something and it's always a three in it. Her car registration number. She was sitting somewhere and some man had threes on his shirt. I mean, it's just like she's a three magnet, baby. Her license plate got three. I mean, it's just
3333.
three just shows up. So listen, this is the Power Three Day because it's March the 3rd. So
March the 3rd,
specifically to get on in here so we can
2026.
shout out the birthdays because there's a couple of birthdays
Yes.
we need to shout out. So as soon as Natasha jumped the gun and got hers, we just gonna be celebrating hers until her day comes. But so my girl, Miss
You,
Phyllis, happy
you know, we real
birthday.
about them birthdays over here. Birthdays
Yes,
are important. Them
I
oh
say
God,
Miss
you did
Phyllis'
it
birthday
again.
was yesterday. So
Yes.
happy belated birthday. I hope you had a
Happy birthday,
wonderful
Phyllis.
day.
Happy birthday,
It is
Phyllis.
Pisces season officially. Let me shout out my cousin Daphne Townsend. Her birthday was yesterday. So let me
Okay.
tell you, it's some girl. It was some birthdays coming
It
through here.
was. It was some
Listen,
birthdays.
I don't know what it is about the springtime, but Kelly said this is my wedding anniversary,
Oh,
19 years, and he's still
Wow.
alive.
19.
Won't God do it? What you say, Kelly? I didn't
Won't
have to
he
kill him. God
do
kept
it? That is amazing. 19
19
years,
years. That's a beautiful
baby.
thing. Beautiful,
Y'all
beautiful,
doing
beautiful.
something right.
Yes, something right. I love it. I love it. So listen, I'm gonna tell y'all, for example, happy birthday to all the birthday people. Yes, we'll be celebrating all month for
Yeah.
something. And then y'all know Sparkle said, I don't know if y'all caught any of her, posts, but she's gonna be celebrating all year long. So happy
All
birthday
year
still,
long.
Sparkle. Happy birthday still.
I
Yes.
don't I don't blame her. I
All
It
don't
was
blame her.
it's coming on my 2 month. I'm 2 months old, honey. Yes. This is a
yeah,
new
Miss Phyllis said that
season.
she celebrates the entire month and she had a wonderful day. Good, good,
Awesome,
good.
awesome. What is Pisces known for? What's the big
Big
Pisces?
hearts.
Great hearts.
We love way too hard.
Good
Okay.
morning, Miss Patricia.
But we are also when we love so hard and you betray us, we don't like betrayal. You'll see another side
They
of us
don't,
that just
baby. They will
isn't
cut you with the quick. They will.
I wouldn't maybe
So it's the
maybe not that harsh, but
betrayal.
Originators
yeah,
of block. They are the originators of block. Baby, will block you in a minute. You hear me?
we give you everything. We give you our hearts, we give you our souls. Well, let me tell you what, you cross it and we're done.
My
There's
Miss
just no
Phyllis,
going
is that
back.
true for you too? Because baby, I'm telling y'all,
that is
Pisces I
true.
know will,
They
baby.
will they
Mess around it.
and they have that mean mug. Like they look like when you look at their face, you can tell they're like that mean mug on their face.
That
It's
RBF.
not that right, Natasha. I love too hard for you to play in my face, baby. I'm finna
See, and
block.
then you think you gonna play in my face?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
it's on and
Yeah.
popping.
We're very genuine, very real. But that when we are betrayed, and whether that's male or female, I think the women, maybe
She
the
keep
women
on
are
trying
a
to put
little
in
bit.
that. We're very
Yeah,
true. We're
yeah,
very.
yeah,
She's trying
yeah.
to.
Before
She's trying.
she give you the gut punch, she was like, "Look, we're super sweet,
So
but we will
we're
knock the mess
very
out of
like
you.
she used very in every. We're very.
We're we're
We're
very
very.
we're very understanding. We're
That
very
is
loving,
that
but
is
we
my
will block you in
all
a minute."
Pisces that are out there, man. I stand for
I
all of
love
us.
it. I love it. I love it. Listen, over
Yes.
the weekend, Sunday, we kicked the month off with our Healing Hearts book club.
Yes.
Baby, let me tell you, and we are reading Getting to the Root of It by
Mm,
and only Natashah Khan. So let me tell you, the to have the author in the book club, facilitating that was just awesome. And let me just tell y'all that get the book because Natashah has knocked us out in the introduction.
In the introduction,
The
we didn't
introduction
even
just
get
had me.
past the introduction.
We didn't even get to the chapter one. Natashah kept us in the introduction just with the first conversation. And that just lets you know that that's a powerful thing. And it's something because we are committed to healing for real. If you're going to be connected to us, we are healing for real this year. We are becoming her. And when we say becoming her, we're becoming her because we are his. And so
Love it.
if you know that you are his, you should always want to be the version of you that he created you to be, not the version of you that the world has done things to, with the drama and the trauma and the
Yes.
insecurities and the rejection and the abandonment and the, different things that have broken your heart. We know those things can change you from who God created you to be.
They come and go.
However, and let me go back because Miss Phyllis said you will see a smile for the most, but
If you
if you
at
cross us, you will
BUT,
see a whole other face.
yes,
Point
and
blank.
y'all know the butt outweigh it
Everything in life,
knocks
that's
out
why I
everything
Yes.
say,
before.
look, it cancels out the very everything. Cancels all that
It
Nice
cancels it.
comeback.
out. Cancels all
But
that.
but in the becoming, I believe some things that you used to operate in that your sign said that you do, like that in that becoming, you start knowing how to handle it and how to become that person that you need. Like, I'm not gonna snap out at you, but I am gonna block you. Like, you, instead of snapping on them like you might, but I am gonna block you because if I don't trust myself to do it 2 times. Because if you cross me the second time, you might not get the same result. So I'm gonna
We
go
still
ahead.
in progress, baby. We are still
Since
a
I
work in
passed the
progress.
test the
We have
first
not.
time, I'm not gonna set myself up to take the
Good
test
morning,
again.
Tina.
Tina, when is your birthday? Is Tina a Pisces?
Oh, Tina, when is your birthday?
Tina, when is your birthday? Because Tina, she got some snap mentality in her
she's
too.
got some Pisces blood running through her.
Maybe she has
That's why I had to
a
ask
rising.
her.
She got Pisces rising.
Yeah, because she's
Probably.
very, very, very sweet, as Natashah says, very, very loving, very, very. But if you cross her,
Look like she got a.
yes. So it's so lovely. Like, but seriously, we are becoming her. And I love when we put our mind to something, we accomplish it regardless. Uh
We finished that, baby. Definitely change has come from evolving in the Lord. Because before the Lord came
Facts.
and helped me, I was
Facts.
a blocked sister. Listen,
Facts.
Ricky said she
We're
was
learning
Bridget
about
said,
unconditional. We're learning about
snap
unconditional
mentality.
love here.
she said the
They
snap
have a snap
mentality.
mentality.
I love it. But you know us, we will come up with our own our own words, our own calls, our own hashtags. We are original and it's okay because we don't mind being different.
Okay. Tina
No.
and Natasha, let's kind of unpack that a little bit because, when you're talking about becoming, why is it a struggle for us when you have packed down so much trauma and you have built up this brick wall and when you have just, gotten yourself to where, this is just how I am, this is just who I am, and, I'm unapologetic about it.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard for us to heal for real and become her?
It's interesting. You asked that question. What I've been sitting here the entire time when we started the show was wanting to talk about the fact that we spend too much time taking things personally. We spend too much
Mm,
time personalizing what's
I
going on
did
in
it.
someone else's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We may experience what we may perceive as, let's say, coldness or distance or someone withdrawing from you. And we automatically assume and take it personal that it has something to do with us.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, without a conversation, we don't really know what's going on with the other person. So I tie that into trauma. I understand, and it's a very sensitive subject, and I know a lot of people can get upset about this when I say that I understand that trauma is difficult, and what happened to you was not fair, right?
Mm.
I always have
Mhm.
to start with that. It's not fair. You didn't deserve it. You didn't ask for it, and we need to heal from it. But what
Mhm.
happens is, depending upon how old you are when you've experienced your trauma, developmentally, we can't help but personalize and think that what happened somehow has to do with us. And
Mm.
so, what makes it difficult for you to become her, what makes it difficult for you to heal for real, will always come back to what we're believing to be true about ourselves.
Mm.
So, this person had, I always say hurt people, but heal people also heal people, right? That's
Mhm.
what we're in the business of doing today.
Right.
But the reason why that person hurt you, 9 out of 10 times, it's not about you. 9 out of 10 times, it's something that's going on with them mentally, emotionally. They've got their own crap, their own stuff that's
Uh-huh.
happening that we don't know about. And unfortunately, we are in line for, we're like target practice,
Okay.
right? We end up suffering at their hand. So it's about us learning that what we've been through really wasn't about us. And that is I know for me personally, that was hard to swallow. That was a hard pill to swallow, especially when we talked in the book club the other day about my sexual assault, right?
Uh-huh.
Knowing that you have to keep secrets and you don't air
And
your dirty laundry out there and what people might say about you. It's really hard to, and then when I was met with the disbelief, it was really hard to walk away from that at 14 years old and assume to think that he's got problems. Like that didn't register in my
right.
mind at all
Mhm.
that it had anything to
Right.
do with him. So I carried that for
All
a
your
really long
life.
time, that I provoked that. I had
Mhm.
something to do with that. And of course I hid from that. So I love the question because I want people in general who struggle with trauma to understand it is not your fault.
Amen.
You are
Mhm.
not responsible for the pain. You're not the cause, you're not the reason, and you're not responsible for what they've inflicted onto you.
Yes.
But here's where you're responsible: setting yourself free and no longer being in bondage, no longer being in hiding and thinking
Mhm.
like somehow this is about me, so I'm just going to go ahead and live in the dark or live in the shadows. Because if I continue to believe that to be true, then we're not going to heal for real, and we're not going to
Mhm.
be able to become her, and we're not truly going to be able to walk in God's purpose because we're still personalizing all of that ugly stuff that happened to us when we were younger or
It's
in our
that personal. See that it's that
Yeah.
personalizing.
past.
Uh, and think about it. When you have kept a secret for so many years, like you have held the secret inside that you're okay, and really you haven't been okay
Yeah.
in many years.
Years.
But you have cope because that you still like I have to cope in life. I don't have time to be feel sorry for myself. I don't have time to give myself sympathy. So you've been operating in that individual that is hurting so deep.
So
Now
think
that now that I'm healed and I'm going through my healing process, I recognize it immediately on other people.
Mhm. And before the healing starts, think about, so if I'm carrying that inside of me, that becomes my identity.
Mm-hmm.
I get so
Yes.
comfortable. It's almost like, your favorite jacket, right? Or your favorite coat or
Mhm.
whatever, maybe your favorite blanket. You get so comfortable, believe it or not, in what you've been through. You wear it like a blanket or you wear it like a jacket. And
Mhm.
that's going to impact how
Yeah.
you show up.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? It's almost like a dirty, smelly jacket. Yeah, you're wearing it because you don't know that you have other jackets in the closet or that you can go buy a new one. But the fact that it's smelly and it's dingy and whatever, you're gonna walk in not you're not gonna walk in with confidence. You're gonna
No.
wear it because it's what you're comfortable with, but you're not gonna feel good about yourself. And that's gonna show up in your personality. It's gonna show up in how you speak. It's gonna show up in your tone of voice. It's going to show up in your life. And that's what I want people to understand. It's like so many people say, yeah, that was in my past. I love when Dr. Sparkle just said, like, oh, I don't have time for that. So what you're saying is you
Yeah.
don't have
Oh,
time for
people will
you.
say time in a minute.
Mhm.
Yeah. You know, and I
You
always say
don't
that
have
if you
time to
don't make
heal, but
Yeah,
that
but
should
you
be a
have time to
priority.
hurt.
It should be a priority. But Natasha, I'm gonna stay with that for a second because you know how you look at all these commercials and they give you the commercials about Febreze or whatever, you know, and they talk about how you can walk in and you're blind to the stench
the
that's in the
stench.
air
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
until somebody comes in and they're looking like, what's that
Don't
smell? You're
smell.
like, what smell? I don't smell
Mhm.
it. But
Yeah.
it's the same thing that when you say, yes, this is comfortable, it's dingy, it's stinky, it's nasty, but it's comfortable to me. So that's how I move. And because that's how I show up now, although I'm comfortable in what I've created for my
Mm-hmm.
kindness blanket from the,
Yep.
peace gallery,
Mhm.
now that I'm comfortable, however, it stinks. And so when people start looking at you crazy, you get offended and you take it personal,
Mm.
but they
Yep.
recognize that smell on you. They see that something's wrong with you, but
Yep.
you're looking at it like I'm nose blind. So this is how I operate. I'm
And you
No,
comfortable.
defend
nose
it.
blinded. I love that you use
But
that word.
other people see that on you, and so because you recognize that you show up with an attitude that you or somebody looks at you funny, like she's not acting the same. What?
Yep.
Why ain't looking at me? Or what? I mean, why
Immediately.
don't? And then you get defensive. You retreat. You
Yep.
get argumentative. You get into different things. But I'll even go back further, Natasha, to if something traumatic happens to you, that's one thing. Piled on top of that is if I share it with somebody and the response I get is not a loving response, it's not a helpful response. It's not I go to my parent and they don't believe me. That's another layer on top of something already traumatic. So now you've doubled the
Mm-hmm.
trauma because I thought you were going to save me. I thought you were going to help me. I thought if I go to the police and tell them, they would do something about it. And they said, it's nothing we can do. We don't have any evidence or whatever. Do you know how that would make somebody feel to know that I muster up the courage to tell you what's going on with me and then it's dismissed? So
Mm-hmm.
now you deal in a whole different set of moving through life because I'm already protecting myself because I don't want this to happen again. I'm already feeling like no matter what I do, nobody's going to be here to save me.
Yep.
It's a very hard place to navigate, particularly when you're young,
Yep.
trying to figure out how to do that and become an adult and deal
So
Yes.
with
here,
those
so
problems.
here's what we're not learning. You bring a really great point, and here's what comes to mind. We are not learning about emotional support.
Mm,
It's something that people need in recovery and people need in healing in general. They need to know that they can be emotionally supported. It doesn't mean you have to agree with me. It doesn't mean you have to like it, but to be able to show up for me emotionally.
yeah.
I wish that that was something that children can learn in their early adolescent years and learn to recognize that if I couldn't get that emotional support from my parents, that life doesn't stop.
Yeah.
I believe that if I knew that there were other people I could go to that could provide that emotional support, I might
Mhm.
have spoken up sooner. But in my mind, if my parents, who are supposed to be my provider, my
Right,
caretaker, my nurturers,
right.
all the things, and I'm placed in this box to believe only that to be true. Angela, you and I talked about it before. We were raised learning that blood is thicker than water,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
right? So if my blood can't support me in this,
Right.
my little brain at that age is thinking, then no one is going to get this.
Yes.
No one
Absolutely.
is going to
Yes.
understand
Absolutely.
this.
Yes.
But
That
if
is
I was
so true.
learning that emotional support doesn't necessarily have to come from blood, and it took me till I
That
was
part.
31.
Yes. That part.
It took me till 31. I walked into Alcoholics Anonymous, and the love and support from strangers
Oh, yes.
that just came up to me, and I was like, first of all, that was just so foreign that people
Yes.
just understood you, hugged you, no, didn't judge you.
Hugged you and embraced you, and you felt the embracing.
Brace.
But even
Yeah.
then, do you know how many people won't stay there because they don't trust that? Because
Yeah.
I've never had anybody
True.
love me like this. I never had anybody love me
Ooh.
and don't have an agenda.
Yes.
So when I
Yeah.
go in here and see that, it's too much for me to deal with
Uncomfortable.
because what if I leave? What if I lose it? What if
Yeah.
they do that for 2 weeks and then they're
Yeah.
back to what I'm used to? I can't trust myself. And you wonder why so many people go from relationships to
To
relationships or
relationships.
Because
addictions
they
to
can't trust
addictions,
themselves by
because
themselves.
every time I think maybe, but then I second guess myself and say, yeah, it's not gonna last. So
It's
let
rooted.
me let me
It's
bow
rooted.
It's
out
too good.
before,
It's too
yeah,
good. That
let me
goes
bow
to
out
too
before
good
I
to be
get really,
true.
really hurt, even
Yeah.
worse. And
It's
I
rooted in
think,
fear.
Yes.
yes,
Because of the pain, they fear to trust. They
Mm-hmm.
fear they're going to be rejected. They
Yep.
fear that someone's going to turn their back on them again. And, Angela, you're touching on something that is very near and dear to my heart, because I've been in relationships before where the men just could feel the connection and can feel the love, coming back to being a Pisces and loving heart.
Okay.
mhm.
Very.
The
Okay.
very, very,
The
yeah.
very, very. Okay. That
The
very,
very,
Going back
very.
to that
very,
very.
but they don't know how to receive that. And
Oh, absolutely.
coming
Mhm.
back to personalizing, not understanding that the other human being has feelings too and has their own trauma
Mhm.
and going through their own things. I can't tell you how oftentimes, and I talk about this in one of my chapters about a love addiction, how much I was yearning for love and
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be magnetized to it.
Yes.
But the other person wants it too,
But
but
they
they're not
don't know how to
magnetized to.
receive it.
Correct. Right. So I'm like running to it and they're like running the other way.
Yes.
And I'm like, both parties want to be loved. But that is just a pure example of how, when you've experienced trauma, how some of us could crave it and how so many of us can fear it at the same time.
So let me take a pause right here, because Cynthia Lewis said, that's okay, Natasha. That's who you all are. And let me shout out but we was waiting for you, Cynthia Lewis. So happy
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 birthday.
birthday. Yes. Happy birthday.
Cynthia, we've already heard that y'all are very, 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 very,
Very,
very,
very.
very sweet and very loving and very, everything until
But
somebody calls
then,
you, and then y'all is Jason with the knife
and yeah, yeah. And then go back to very, 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 very,
but
very,
Genuine.
very.
We're very,
but
very genuine.
but
But it's so, and I'm so thankful that we're celebrating people's birthday, because birth birthing is a real thing. In your birthing of becoming somebody different, you really go through the birthing pains. You really go back through birth like you're birthing your child, because when you commit to God
yes,
and say,
ma'am.
"Okay, God, I surrender and I want to become better,"
Mm-hmm.
you forget, but He don't forget. God,
Mhm.
God, God doesn't
You don't
forget your
forget.
prayer.
Nope.
I surrender, I surrender. So He started correcting you more. I feel the correction of Him. It's like more correction, because you saying you want more, and He said, "I'll give you, and you ask and you shall receive." So in this receiving, if you're feeling like, oh, oh, like I can't breathe, it's in your becoming. You're birthing
Yeah.
you're birthing some things, and that's why it feels like, oh, whew, it's just,
But that's
oh,
not a
True.
thing in and of itself. You think about a baby who has been in the warm amniotic fluid, and they're just in here just chilling and
chilling.
relaxing. Everything they need is coming. They ain't crying to get their wet pamper changed. They're not crying because they're hungry. They're
Their
just in
needs are
here
met.
like, look, life is beautiful and amazing until they hit that tunnel and got to be pushed out.
Yes.
That's trauma. They're just like, what is going on? Oh my God. What is happening? Which is why they come out screaming.
Yep.
So
Yes. Because
now
why am I
the
coming here?
becoming process is not a easy process,
No.
regardless of what people think. And I'm gonna back up a little bit, Natasha, when you talked about the experience of going to AA, and people are welcoming you and they are, embracing you, and they make you feel like you belong there. That's why a
Mhm.
lot of times when people run away from home or they are young and they get connected to gangs, because the
Because they
gangs
welcome them
give them
Yes.
a
and they
sense of,
It's a
understand each
family.
other.
exactly, it's a family tie. And you wonder why. Why would they want
Correct.
to be part of that? Because of how they show up for
Connection.
the people who are
Hmm.
connected to
Connection.
them. They don't turn them away. They embrace them. They elevate them. They
They
encourage
Correct.
them.
understand
They
them.
position them. They ride for them. And so you
Yep.
wonder why people want to be part of that, even though it may be violent, even though it may be, things going on. People buy into it because that's probably the first place where they felt accepted for who they
Yep.
are. Because
Yep.
a lot of families, the reality is
They
You
don't know how to.
because when you go to church, well, make sure you're not back there cutting up. Don't do this. Don't do that. When
What do
you
you
get
have on? Change your clothes.
don't you ask for something when we get over here. Don't you ask for anything. So you always feel like it's conditional in families. But
Yeah,
when you
it
go to
is.
situations like Alcoholics Anonymous or whatever the drug program related is, or going to, gangs and things like that, they're not giving you stipulations. They're just saying, hey, welcome. We in here. They're giving you a sign.
So
Do you know what I'm saying?
Family loves you more
yeah,
when you're broken. I'm
that's
sorry. I'm sorry to say that. But when you
God, that's a
broken,
whole other conversation about
Wait a minute, say it one
people.
more time, Sparkle. Family, what?
family loves you when you're broken.
That might be for
It's when
tomorrow,
it's
Wednesday.
when you
So
start breaking that shell. When you start breaking that shell in
And becoming better.
and becoming better, because y'all used to talk about, oh, the bitterness, the anger,
The
y'all.
struggle story.
Everybody understood it, but then you're like, I don't see it that way. And as soon as you disagree with somebody, they good with you as long as you're agreeing with them. But as soon as you disagree, oh, see, you think because you went to college, you think because you doing, it comes out of them like,
but
what
that's
they really.
so 2 points here, because I want to touch on what Kelly just said just now, but that comes back to that us now personalizing. We need to recognize that that's their stuff.
Yes, it's
they're hating on you, or they're wanting to sort of keep their foot on you, has everything to do with their own insecurities, their own low self-worth, and their low self-esteem. Individuals who struggle with mental illness or emotionally, let's just chalk it up to being emotionally immature. What happens is when you're growing and healing, it affects their insecurities, because they're looking at you almost sort of climbing that ladder and elevating yourself, and they're still down here.
Right.
And there's actually a lot of sin in that, because there's a lot of jealousy and envy.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of comparing themselves to what you're doing. We have to learn on this healing journey. And I love when you said, Angela, healing is not this bed of roses and rainbows and unicorns and all kinds of things. But it is so worth it. In the end, you do have to go through a rough patch of where you have to dig up all of the crap that you've buried. You just have to. It's almost like turning over soil. Now, I'm not a farmer and or a gardener, but the general context of having to turn over the soil in order to create a new harvest, right? In order to sow new seeds, you have to turn that soil over. So if you're going to want to heal her and you want to move on, you have to turn over what you've been through. You can't build new on top of old. You just can't. It's not
old wine
people stand strong in that.
I was saying the same thing, Spark. You can't put new wine into old wineskins.
Correct. Now, Kelly said something she
earlier,
said,
go all the way up.
But before that one, she said, Angela, that's the same with sex trafficking. So I love when Angela talked about the gang violence or being in gangs. You see the same thing in prison. There's a lot of people who would prefer to be in prison than come out into the real world, because there's routine, there's structure, there's accountability, and there's fellowship.
Yeah.
We have to recognize that and we talked about this in the in our book club. We are designed and created for connection, right? So we are always, as human beings, always yearning to connect. So when you are not able to connect with your primary, and again, our very first connection was with mom in the utero, in the belly, right? I connected with somebody, a life form, for 9 months. We come out of that, and now we are struggling to connect because life is happening. So when that connection breaks, that is where addiction introduces itself in any form. Individuals who find themselves in gangs are addicted to that life, they're addicted to the connection. People who keep going back to prison are addicted to the connection, right? It's because they're not getting it at home. So Kelly talked about sex traffickers. The same is true in, get ready for it, somebody's going to come for me, but I will defend it. The same is true for domestic violence.
Oh, yes.
The same is true for trauma bonds. We stay in these situations because something is better than
Then
nothing.
nothing. Yeah.
And if you come from a place where your connection is broken, I can tell you all too well of being in a relationship, being abused, but always minimizing it and justifying the little droplet of love and attention I was getting. In my world at that time with my insecurities, that little drop of attention was like a great bucket full of gold.
Mm.
Because compared to what I was not getting before, this made the difference. Now, for a lot of people, like, well, that girl just sounds sick and she sounds crazy. But when you're emotionally immature and you have endured pain and suffering, and you have not been able to develop those healthy connections, we talked about this in some previous shows about we settle for breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
We are just going to gravitate at whatever little we can. So we should not be judging anybody that stays. I hear a lot of people say, I don't understand why she's staying there and why she won't leave that relationship. Unless you have walked in my shoes, unless you
Then
understand
be
why I'm
quiet.
doing what I'm doing, then you need to sit down and be quiet.
Yes. And in your becoming, it's teaching you to stop judging people in a way that like, because now your lenses are different. So now you recognize, I don't know what that person has been through in their life. So who am I to try to speak against them? Because your eyes are different now. Like, I didn't know that God really will change everything about how you see things, how you walk through things, how you operate, and everything is still like the birthing. When you birth, you don't just wake up and start walking. When you come out, you start taking baby steps at a time. Very true. They can come, but I back you 1,000,000,000%. This is real. Until you have been through it, you will never understand it.
Yeah.
Like they said, all money is not good money. All love is not good love, but it's the love that they've known and are accustomed to.
Yep.
People are accustomed to, like, they've been
some people are accustomed to being rejected or treated, poorly. And I want our world to wake up. I want our society to hear that and understand, like, people are hurting out here.
Very much so. Very much so.
You don't know what you don't know. I mean, a lot of us use things like, I should have done this and I should have known better and I could have, would. And I said, stop shitting all over yourself.
Yes.
Right? Because if you knew better, you would have done better.
You would have just done that to who wants to just harm themselves just because I just want to harm myself. You didn't know any better. I'm going to give y'all a perfect example. Alicia and I was in New Orleans this weekend, and our waitress forgot our gator bites. Okay. So when we got our tickets, we was like, just take it off. And she bust out in tears, y'all. Like, it was, and then she ran off. Well, me being me, like, everybody was like, the other working people was like, whatever. So here I go. No, it's not a whatever. So I go to her, I get her in a calm place, get her to breathe. And then I noticed when I tried to touch her, she jumped.
She did jump back.
She jumped. So I knew that told me right then, don't touch her, don't hug her. She's not used to touching. She's not used to embracing. So don't do that.
Well, it could also be the fact that she messed up. She thought somebody was going to be mad at her. What I'm hearing is someone in a potentially abusive relationship, and you touching her, she may have just been a reflex that maybe you might have hurt her or might have been angry with her.
Well, Natasha, it came out that her mom was in ICU. She's the oldest of the family. She's always the one that has to do everything. Nobody lets her just breathe, because even when I was trying to tell her to breathe, she said, I can't. I don't have time to breathe. Everybody wants me to do everything. So of course I kept on talking to her, and she would, her tears would come. Yeah, she would grab her, like, she would stop in tears, like, no, I can't cry. And I was like, it's okay to cry. I want you to take a break for one moment and just go cry. And she's like, but then what's going to happen? And then what's going to happen? I said, you don't have to worry about that. She was like, I don't have to worry about that.
She's never encountered someone to say that to her.
But you just think about the fact that if your mom, who apparently she loves, is in ICU, but you're at work.
Yeah.
So that means that nobody thought enough to say, you know what, take some time off and go be with your mom.
And go be with your mom.
So, or she felt like I can't afford to miss a day at work, even though I'm worried about my mom. I got to be here because what else is going to pay the bills? It's unfortunate situations that we get into, and we don't have the compassion from people. So I'm gonna back up and say, when we were talking about a few minutes ago, when Sparkle was saying, when you start becoming and you realize that the love of God is helping you, but we also have to be very mindful that in that space, when people feel like I go to church, and a lot of times churches run people away because they're judgmental, or they look at you and say, well, you can't be in here high, or
you
just
can't
came
come
out
that
the
way
street.
dressed.
Because some Christians feel like they've arrived. And so you got to also realize that just because you are what looks like cleaned up, sometimes people are dressed up messes.
Oh,
and so
yeah.
even though you look good, internally, you're all over the place. And so we have to start having a little bit more compassion, a little bit more grace, not only for other people, but even for yourself. You know, because it's going to be people who we all look at situations. You know how you see a man and he's with somebody that you feel like, I know how she get him, or vice versa.
I'm gonna tell you how she got him.
It is because, back to what Natashah said, the connection. They have been able to establish a connection that person feels good when they are with that person.
Yeah.
That person satisfies whatever those needs are emotionally, so that when they're around them, that's what they choose, because I would rather be with this person than to be with somebody over here who's polished and accomplished and credentialed and all
but
that.
snap it out.
They make me feel like they don't have time for me because they're always doing something. They're always, chasing the next accolade or the next achievement or the next accomplishment. But this person sits here and listens to me. This person wants to know how my day is, not just oh, how was your day? And going about your business. Sit down and really ask, well, what was going on? Well, what did Paul say? I know Paul had something to say at work, and now you feel like, oh, they really want to know about me, not the
which is different.
Me. And it's a very different thing. So we have to be very mindful of what people's needs are, including ours. Because at the end of the day, a lot of times we push our needs, like this young lady did. She pushed her need to feel in that moment because she just felt like, I don't have time. Everybody depends on me. And right now I'm about at breaking point because
she was at breaking point.
Well, so that ties back to the belief system that I've got to hold it together. If I don't hold it together, things are going to fall apart. So she's operating. So here's a classic example how someone is carrying this limiting belief and how she's living off of this belief to the point that it's burning her out. To the point she's on the verge of a mental breakdown, and all she was asked was, can you remove this from the check? And what she probably heard was, I made a mistake. I screwed up. I failed. So this is where we have to be. I love when you said have compassion and grace. We need to be paying more attention to when we're in interactions with others. We are so quick to want what we want out of somebody. And then the minute that they are not receiving, they're not giving us what we want, we immediately want to get an attitude. And I'm going to say this.
Especially in customer service.
Especially because people feel entitled to sustain.
Yes, especially
I know we joked about this earlier with like the Pisces people. So I'm going to bring them up again. I'm going to speak for myself. God has really changed me in that regard, where I would be so genuine to someone, and then if they betrayed me, I'd like flip on a dime. I would really say that was me before knowing God. Today, God teaches me how to take that step back and say, okay, you don't need to snap on them. You don't need to cut them off. You don't need to shut them out. The reality is you need to take a step back and understand that one of my biggest lessons in my journey is ain't everything about me.
Yes.
Right.
That part.
And that you have to learn. It's a hard pill to swallow, but when
it's a learned thing.
It ain't always about me. And so the Holy Spirit will whisper that to me. Sometimes we'll say it very loudly, like Natashah,
yes,
about you.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
When you surrender to the Holy Spirit.
Sometimes in road rage, everybody's not trying to cut you off. Some people are just oblivious, or they may be on the phone, or they may be doing but they cut you off. It's not because, oh, you're not getting over here, I'm gonna block this lane, and people snap and go off. Everything is not about you, for real. It's not.
It really is not. And learning to give grace without letting them take advantage of you. It's
Correct.
like you can
That
give
is true.
grace, but don't let them take your grace for granted. You give
Correct.
it to them, and it's okay to walk away and be like, oh, I just gave them my $20, and you don't have to watch them and see how they spend it to see if they're going to spend it the right way or they're going to do.
Right.
Just give it and keep going.
Give with
Right.
no expectation. So I'm in this
Exactly.
study right now
He said
about
it
the
in his
fruits of the
word.
spirit.
Give it with no expectation.
Right. So in the fruits of the spirit, we were talking about unconditional love. And last week I had to spend 7 days in giving to others. It could be strangers, it could be to family, it could be to somebody that I have a resentment to, and I need to give to them with no expectation and with nothing in return. And I have to tell you, giving to those that I love was great. To those that I wouldn't want to say are resentments. I'll use my mother as an example. I had to do something for her genuinely with nothing in return. I'm going to tell you right now, I had to think about it. I had to pray about it before I did it. But I love what you just said, because with that, yes, I can show grace, and yes, I can show unconditional love. But I need people to hear this. You still need boundaries.
Yes.
Because
You have to.
If the other person is emotionally unwell and that other person is not on a spiritual journey or on a healing journey or some type of recovery journey,
Yeah.
you still need to be careful. So God isn't saying to serve someone and then allow yourself to be their doormats.
Yep.
And that is something that I think
That's
many,
good.
myself
That's good.
included, got into a lot of trouble with. It's like, well, God said to serve. God said to show up. And
Yep.
meanwhile, I go in there and I'm like, all right, here I am. And I'm not protected. I don't have a God's armor. I have no boundaries in place. And then boom.
Yes.
And that's where the old Pisces in me was like, oh, all right, I see you.
Hey,
I have
see if I do anything for you again. Block.
Yes. That and that
They
comes
don't
from
call
that.
you when you need another ride.
Yes,
Block.
yes.
So
it's
so you need some
real.
money for a bill. Watch your lights get cut off next.
I am a
This
work
time-
in progress, ladies. I'm a work in progress.
No, and we all are, because we're all in our becoming stage, learning new technique, learning new boundaries. If we never had boundaries, and now you're starting to have boundaries, that's new. And getting used to newness is, oh my gosh, how long is this going to take? Yes.
Overwhelming. But let me put this caveat out there for people to understand. You look at some people and you think they have it all together. Stop having unrealistic expectations of everybody, because we are all in transition. Somebody may cuss you out and you may look like, she cuss? I thought she cusses. And probably the people that you live with, and probably the people in the pulpit, there's a lot of people that cuss. They do.
Yes.
Stop
Or take
having
a drink.
unrealistic
They're going to
expectations.
take a drink.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Natashah felt like she was going to do that. Oh, I thought she was. Stop putting people on pedestals and having unrealistic
Thank you.
expectations.
I am human, like the rest of us.
Yeah, like you think, oh, girl, I know she has so much patience. Oh my gosh, she's just like Job. Sometimes she like the water ain't boiled enough. Oh my God.
Because Job, believe it or not, they didn't write about the Job part where he was, he had to go through the step. Everybody has steps that we have to take. And that's in everything. And you build your
don't be boo-boo the fool. You better stay in Miss Phyllis. We're not doing that. We're not being
no, because it's family members that you love, but you don't go to their house every day because you don't. That's not your responsibility. I can't show up every day because I'm in a becoming stage, and if I stay here, then I can't keep becoming because
I can't grow.
Because I can't do both. And sometimes I don't trust myself to go and do the right thing. So let me not go because I don't trust myself right now.
And that is good insight. I'm going to say that right here, right now. And I'm in that space. It is great insight when you can reflect and realize it's not about the other person that I'm worried about. I'm worried about that I'm going to be slick at the tongue. I'm worried that the Holy Spirit isn't going to guard my tongue. I shouldn't say I'm afraid to. If I ask the Holy Spirit to bridle my tongue, the Holy Spirit
will override the Holy Spirit sometimes. You know the Holy Spirit told you to stop. And he was like, but let me get it over.
Let me get that point in.
You press the gas harder. It's just like having a house guest. and you know that you really have a 2 to 3 day minimum of how long you can have entertain somebody. But you tell them,
Yes.
come on and stay with me for the whole week. On
Mm-mm.
Wednesday, you looking at them like, see, you done dirted up every dish in the house. You done drunk up all my juice. You sit right here, and I'm tired of watching the show that you want to
It's
watch
time
because
to
I
go.
can't watch my Lifetime or whatever your preferred thing is.
But
You only
you
have a
didn't
certain
instill boundaries, right? You
right.
didn't instill boundaries.
It's still boundaries.
I have a rule with family members and people that I know that are not emotionally well. You're either going to get 2 hours out of me. And if we are going to go on a trip, I need my own room. That's number one. And a max is 2 days.
And I'm driving myself.
Correct.
I'm driving myself.
I need my getaway. I need the exit car. I need the getaway car.
And if I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go.
Correct.
I'm going to go back to this one right here that Kelly put up. She said, once we had a lady come in off the street and it was obvious that she was lost. She had a tiny kitten wrapped in a blanket and someone tried to stop her from coming in. Our pastor was standing there and he reached out, took her hand and led her into the sanctuary. If her holding that kitten kept her in the church that day, so be it.
So, but that is so beautiful.
Is that not?
That is so
somebody
beautiful.
Accepted you, because in reality, you know how many times she probably got rejected for what she needed, because she needed that kid and probably gave her a sense of stability or calmness that she ordinarily wouldn't have. And sometimes you have to bring your baggage with you in order to feel comfortable enough to release it.
Yes.
And that's a physical representation of what we don't often see.
Yeah.
It's things that we bring with us. And sometimes you say, oh, I'm not dealing with that. But sometimes you have to say, you know what, I've got to meet them where they are. Because they're not going to stay there.
God says, come as you are. And half of us want to somehow, feel like the way that we're dressed and the way that we look, and we've got to get rid of the problem first before we go to God. Like, we got to be perfect. It's like, he said, come as you are.
Yes. That means your puppy, your kitten, if that's what you have. That is so funny that she brought that up, because when you think about homeless people, they always have a dog. They always have a cat, a dog. They have an animal with them. Have you ever realized at that point in their life, they feel like that's the only thing that loves them? That's the only one that sticks by their side. They never leave me
and talk crazy.
And whether I feed them today or I don't feed them today, they still love me. And when you have been through the place in your life that you've been fighting for love all your life, then that embracement makes you feel good. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I love dogs and I have had dogs, but here lately I want a dog so bad. It's the empty nest. It's the emptiness that you still want. I have always took care of somebody, so you still want to do that. Take care of somebody, be responsible for somebody, and knowing that somebody's with you, it gives you that embracement. So come on, give grace to people. If they have their blanket with them, let them have their blanket. Leave their blanket alone.
Leave them and their blanket alone.
Leave them and their blanket alone. Listen, and stop trying. You know what? And I'll say this too. A lot of times we try to save everybody.
Yes.
And we feel like, oh, well, like you said, Natasha, the reality is, as bad as prison may be for some people, a lot of people embrace that because it is structure. It is routine. It is something they can count on. It is something that, and you may not understand it, but sometimes you have to give it to God and say, God, maybe I don't need to try and rescue this person from this. I just need to be there. I just need to give them love. I need to give them a listening ear. I need to give them other things than to try and go in and take control, because a lot of people feel like, oh, my life is together. Your life is going to be together too, because I'm going to come and help you get out of this situation.
Well, we see that a lot. We see that a lot in addiction and recovery, where family members are doing whatever they can to keep their loved ones out of jail. And I say, let them. I know a lot of men and women who have been to jail and got sober in jail, turned their lives around, built a ministry in jail, went back and served in the jail and made a difference. God will use you, and God will use them. Allow God to do what God can do, rather than
Patricia just said, allow God to do the changing. God met us where we were, and you do the same for each other. Allow God.
Take your head off. You are not God.
You're not. As
You're
much as we
not
want to be
God.
out here saving everybody, like, oh, whoa, I got to go and make sure that's not your job. That's not
It's
your job.
exhausting. I
It,
don't know
it
about
is
y'all.
so
I used to be there. It's
exhausting.
exhausting.
It's exhausting.
I
It's
barely can
to
take
manage
care of
yourself.
myself.
Self.
Exactly. It's
It
a
keep
job to manage
dysregulated.
yourself. Listen, sometimes you gotta let people be who they are. Yes, come on, Miss Phyllis. Miss Phyllis done got another birthday, baby, and she is showing out. Yes, you
See,
can't
I
be
was thinking the
self-saver
same thing,
all the
Phyllis.
time. Let God be God. Miss Phyllis, you have
She's on a roll
I was
today.
on your
thinking the
chest
same
and be
thing.
counting
I
stage
might
for
have.
somebody. Look,
Yeah, that's why I love the Empower Morning Show. I love the Empower Morning Show because if you slip it out, we are not going to criticize you. You can't come back here. No, you can be
baby.
real with your realness and in your healing version. Because
Yes.
as you healing, that is some work. It's some hard work. Today you might get it right. Tomorrow you might collapse and do the whole.
Listen, no, back it up. This morning you may get it right, and by 12 noon, baby, you was cussing everybody out. Like, baby, somebody gonna get it today.
Yes, and you
Listen,
have that. You
that is
have
why
that
I do
mindset.
That's why I have to do sometimes a meditation twice a day because I need that second level of grounding. I'll ground in the morning, but Angela, you're right. Come noon, 1 o'clock, and I'm like,
Come
oh
noon,
Lord, I
No,
can't.
baby,
Natasha, I'm gonna
let
make
me
it
not get
better. I have an alarm that goes off at 1:26 p.m. because it says Sparkle. I need you to sit in that corner for a minute so that we can gather these thoughts.
Yep.
Thank you. Miss Patricia said, age brings wisdom in an unfiltered mouth, baby. Don't it? Hey, once you hit 50, baby, listen, you gonna get it how I bring it out. And I'm sorry. Look, you
Yes.
like it,
And
love it,
it's
don't
so
leave it.
funny that you said that, Angela, because Alicia said this weekend, it's something about you when you have turned 50. You was already slick on the mouth, but this 50 is doing something to you.
Took it
Listen,
to another level.
your throat says, I'm not gonna block nothing. Whatever come
It
about
leveled
this
up.
come on. Look, it just happened.
Leveled
Hey,
up.
it is what it is.
But y'all, we have to get out
Hey,
of here.
your little feelings hurt. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna give it to you.
Before we do, Kelly had a question earlier. Kelly, maybe you bring that to our book club chat, and because I want to
Yes.
still be able to address it. I know we're running out of time. So
Natasha,
Kelly,
you're so sweet. We was
She
on the
said she
same
forgot the
path.
question. Is that the one? Oh no, I'm
No, it's
sorry. Hold
one
on.
way up.
it
The
says
one
I have a
up here
question.
by,
Both
No,
of my
but
girls.
don't pull it up because Natasha's gonna try to attack it now. So let's put it
but
in
she
the.
forgot the question. She was talking about, but she said at the end, she said, heck, I forgot my question. So Kelly,
Ask
remember
the
the
question in the
question.
book club. Yeah, in our chat, and I'll answer it there.
And if you keep hearing us saying about the book club, we are doing a book club, Heal for Real this time, where we're talking about healing the heart. So if you're hearing this and you're like, I want to be a part, just put a comment down. We will get you the information to be a part because we on slow mode on this one. This one ain't no,
Oh, baby, we might be
it
doing
ain't
this
no
next
same
year
day
in March.
surgery. It's not
Next year
the
in
same
March.
day surgery.
No,
It's
March the 3rd next year. We finally wrapping it up. One
maybe.
chapter a month.
Y'all have a blessed day. Y'all have a blessed day. We love
Look at
you.
Louis, have a wonderful birthday. Enjoy it to the fullest. Do
Yes.
everything you want to do, baby. Eat everything you want to eat.
Happy
Enjoy
birthday.
today.
Just don't flip out on them, okay? Just don't flip out on
Flip out and say what you want to say, baby. It's your birthday.
them. Y'all have a blessed day. We believe God. Do you believe God? We believe God. We believe God. We are getting healed for real this time.
Yes.
Thank you, God. Have a blessed day. We will see you on Winning Wednesday.
Bye, everyone.